Well, it is Halloween week, and we do have a couple of stories for you. Some two-bit specials on Halloween night, so be sure to catch those. Our Thursday edition of Otaku Thursday. Do catch that. We'll be talking about horror anime, and we'll be throwing some suggestions out to you on both those on two videos on Thursday for you. On November 3rd, it's going to be Godzilla Day. And we're celebrating the 70th anniversary. The 70, 70. Godzilla is 70 years old and still has it.
A happy moment.
He still has his good looks, don't he, folks? But in celebration to it, as we're getting into November and we're getting to the holidays, on November 1st, they are re-releasing in theaters Godzilla Minus 1. And that'll be starting on November 1st. It's going into the theaters itself for a limited run, I guess, through the holidays. Tickets are on sale right now. In fact, it will be both versions of the film. It will be the color and the black and white version. I recommend going and seeing both. I mean, it's great to see them in both on there. It was the highest, as far as U.S. history, top third grossing film, earning more than 115 at the global box office. Won the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects. So it is an Oscar winner. It's a great story. I mean, just like its previous one, Shin Godzilla, which is also very good. Some people didn't like it. I liked it. It was really good. It's a good concept for that one. But this one was excellent. I mean, this is top on there. And and the thing about it is, this is coming out in November. I've been watching Godzilla since I was a kid. I grew up with Godzilla, especially around Thanksgiving time, because they used to do during the holidays the Godzilla marathons. It used to be that they used to do on Thanksgiving Day. It was on WWOR Channel 9. It would be the Channel 9 affiliate, which I think is that CW now. Yeah. Basically, the Channel 9 one in New York. They used to run a marathon back to back of Godzilla films throughout the day. You would see Mothra versus Godzilla, Godzilla versus King Kong, the son of Godzilla, and many others that they rotated year to year, and it would run the entire day. And then of course Mystery Science Theater 3000 did two of them. I think that was like versus Megalon and the one versus the Sea Monster, but those got pulled by Toho. So those unless you have a VHS copy, I do. From back then, from the original TV broadcast, most people only seen maybe clips here and there. They never seen the entire episode, which was a good episode. It was really, really a good episode on both of them. It's always been a fun time watching these movies. As the years changed on, I went to see Godzilla 1985 in the theaters. Now there's a new version that, I think they're in the middle of remastering the old version on that. Finally getting out. I guess the rights have been resolved on that movie. There's a lot of rights problem on that. And, there were hit and misses on that movies. There were hit and misses. I have a T-shirt from one of the movies this was one of those Etsy made shirts, which was really cool. It said "Save the Earth" on that. And speaking of Save the Earth, the person who was responsible for the movie that directed, Takashi Yamazaki, wants to remake one of the great classics. He wants to bring this creature into existence, into a big special effect modern technology. Even though this creature has been seen in one of the latter of the Godzilla movies, Final Wars, where a lot of them were shown on there. This was one of the rarities you ever got to see them. But it seems that basically, when we get this from Fangoria, it seems that he wants to remake the Hedorah classic, or what they used to call the Smog Monster. Let's read a little bit into this from Fangoria. It remains to be seen whether or not last year's breakout hit Godzilla Minus One ends up getting a sequel. Frankly, it would seem silly not to, as the film was not only a commercial smash, but it became the only entry in the history of the 70-year-old franchise to win an Oscar. That's right. It's probably only a matter of time. As for what the sequel might look like, director Takashi Yamazaki expressed interest in remaking one of the weirdest Godzilla movies around. He recently appeared at New York Comic Con for a panel to help celebrate Godzilla's 70th birthday, which is here in just a couple of weeks. During the panel, he was asked which previous Godzilla movie he would remake. Providing the chance, he answered, per Kaiju United, it is the 1971 Showa air classic Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Here's what he had to say about it. Godzilla vs. Hedorah, I think that for its time, Hedorah was a very cutting-edge kaiju, and thinking about the type of visual expression we can do with technology and how far it come today, I imagine how it would move and think it would be really cool to remake. Directed by Yoshimitsu Banno, this is a film that sees the king of the monsters duking it out with a monster made up essentially out of pollution. The film itself is exceptionally weird, featuring animated sequences, hippie dancing numbers, and a rather famous scene with Godzilla flying. Yes, that's right. But Hedorah, aka the Smog Monster, has also become a true fan favorite over the years, with the film itself being embraced as ahead of its time, which is true. It is true about this if you've never seen it before. Yamazaki is undoubtedly right that Hedorah could look pretty incredible with modern effects. What he and his team were able to accomplish with a limited budget in Minus One, and remember, they didn't spend too much on Minus One, and look at how great it looks, was insanely impressive. Not to mention that the global warming fears would make Hedorah a pretty spot-on monster for the moment. It's certainly an interesting idea. Yeah, at this time period, with all this on there, it would be very interesting that they could bring this forward, because if you haven't seen this movie, it was literally a basically sort of an anti-pollution film, because literally, you had Save the Earth, the song Save the Earth, which there are two versions of that soundtrack. It is in Japanese and it is in English as well. It was redubbed in English, I believe, but two different actors, two different singers sang the song. In the meantime, Godzilla Minus One is headed back to theaters in honor of the franchise anniversary. There is also finally a 4K Blu-ray DVD and copies available in the US, which I will be getting for this holiday. So it's readily available to watch with ease. But for those who haven't seen it on the big screen, it is well worth the time. For now, we wait to see what Toho has in mind and merely hope that Yamazaki gets to put his stamp on the franchise once again. And remember, Toho right now made that deal with J-Kids. That's part of the whole thing for distributions in the U.S. That makes it a lot easier for them to distribute a lot of stuff in the United States now. So bringing that forward and their productions, even though that's a different, Toho Studios is a different division from the animation division, this all wraps together. And for them to do something like this, like Hedorah, that would, I loved Hedorah. I really, that is one, yes, it is the freakiest movie you'll see from the Godzilla, but, nothing like Son of Godzilla, that all monsters attack, which was totally insane on there. The other one I would love to see them do is a remake of Gigan, because I know they've done a lot with Gigan in the last two eras. They keep making him bigger and better every time. The last time he had 2 chainsaws on the end of his hands. I mean, that was pretty good. But getting back to Hedorah, I mean, you had a creature that had several different levels to it, that basically kept changing back and forth, adapting. I mean, this thing was eating pollution. People were dying. They were getting exposed to the gases that it emitted, and they were dying. I mean, literally, there was some parts that were, you can call it in a way a horror film in certain ways, because of the way the people were deteriorating. I mean, literally, the gases were acidic. It was literally like pouring acid on the body, and you saw people like just deteriorating in their own way. It was animated, but it was pretty well done for the time. You got to remember when this movie came out. We're talking 1971. We just came out of Destroy All Monsters on that as well, and an All Monster Attack as well. So, this movie was ahead of its time. You had the young people in the movie trying to warn everyone for pollution and everything like that. You had like that little impromptu music festival where Hedorah showed up at. That was, some of that stuff was just amazing how, that was produced. And like I said, the music track itself, you have an English and you have a Japanese track. And, it's a good one to watch. It is remastered, not a perfect remastered. It is on the Criterion Collection. I have the box set. It is on the Criterion Collection. If you haven't gotten that box set on there, which from the Showa era movies, wait for the second box set. Wait for that second box set for the next era, which that should be coming around hopefully soon, within the next year or so. But remember, November 1st, Godzilla -1 hits your theaters. And hopefully, maybe in the near future, we may get a Godzilla vs. Hedorah 2. So comment. Let me know your thoughts about this. Have you seen Godzilla vs. Hedorah? Have you seen -1? What are your thoughts about that? How do you think the films stack out from the other Godzilla movies that have been out there for many, many years? Also, don't forget to like, share this video, and hopefully today's the day I earn your subscription. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for choosing this video out of the thousands and thousands of videos out there that you could have chosen. You chose this particular video, and we really do appreciate it. Until next time, have a good one. So long.